Hey parents, my name is Brandon and joining me today is Dr. Ferguson, and we believe it's super important to partner with you as parents in the academic education of your children. And we know that children learn best when they are physically, spiritually, relationally, and emotionally healthy. And so that's why I'm so proud to partner with Dr. Ferguson in the counseling department at SCA. The SCA Counseling Department is ultimately to support the school's mission. It's to support you as parents. It's really meant to be triage support system to ensure a healthy school culture. So I thought it'd be important from time to time during the season of e-classroom at SCA to have a conversation with Dr. Ferguson to provide a resource for you as parents. And as you assume the responsibility of the academic education of your children. So, Dr. Ferguson, thank you so much for your willingness to join in on the conversation today.
Sure, my pleasure. Glad to be here.
Well, let's just jump right in. Last week, Dr. Ferguson, 3.3 million Americans filed for unemployment in the midst of this crisis. And I can't help but think that there are some families at SCA that could be a part of that 3.3 million and growing, or more importantly, they may know someone who is. So I want to ask you specifically how parents can navigate this season with their family. What is an appropriate way to share this difficult news of potential financial hardship with your kids?
Well, I think ultimately the question does become, should we share and how much should we share with our kids? I think it depends on the age of our children. I'm a total fan of family meetings. When important things happen in the lives of our families or of my family, we like to get together, the whole crew of us, all 7 of us, and we talk about what's important, hitting on the highlights and inviting really our kids to pray with us. So the best way, I think a good way would be to have a family meeting and to share as much as can be shared without burdening our children. It's a good time to remind them that our provider and sustainer still reigns, and he owns all the cattle on 1,000 hills. So remember before in our video, when we're talking about importance of staying calm, we want to continue to exercise calm here and just share what we can so that they can partner in prayer with us.
Yeah. Well, let me follow up to that question real quick. How much information should we be sharing with our children about our financial situations as families?
Enough not to burden them. We don't want to have our kids to feel the weight or feel overwhelmed by financial burdens. Ultimately, if God is our provider and he's allowed us to be the parents or leaders of our families, and he's got us, we need to let our kids be kids. So this is something for our family to pray about. I might encourage parents to say, we're going to pray about this as a family, but we're going to trust the Lord. And behind the scenes, mom and dad are certainly orchestrating, strategizing, and looking for resources to meet the needs of the family.
I love how you presented that, because we could use this time, families could use this time of financial hardship to teach our children how much we depend on God. And we demonstrate that through prayer. So praying together as a family through this could be extremely valuable. That's good insight. Well, Dr. Ferguson, for those families that are experiencing financial hardships, what are some simple strategies to help navigate through this difficult season? I heard family meeting. I get that, but what are some other strategies to help navigate through the season?
I would think being mindful about spending, right? I think, the world, it seems, has been hoarding tissue. Using what we don't or purchasing what we don't need. So if money is tight, especially, and even the resources that we've already stored up in our homes, let's use those without being the hoarding or being, I hate the word gluttonous, but kind of that's what it is. So being mindful to be at peace, being mindful. I like to invite people to stop, think, breathe, assess, and then act. So you give yourself time enough to move oxygenated blood to the frontal lobes, as opposed to staying in the limbic system where it's a fight or flight and fear. And many of us are operating in fear, and we don't want to operate there. We want to be logical and stable and mindful of our actions. So that's what I would do. I would remember to adopt a mindful posture. And then, what's practical? Maybe I need to call my bank. Maybe I need to call my mortgage owner and my car loan owners to see what kind of flexibility they're affording people during this time. That would allow me to feel like there's something I can do. I'm advocating for myself, and you never know what kind of room you can purchase for yourself if you don't ask.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's really valuable information, because right now there are a lot of companies, banks, car loans are providing a lot of flexibility now. So
yeah,
we have to take the necessary steps to contact those individuals. That's really good, valuable information. And is it okay to tell our kids, hey, we're kind of tightening things down right now. This is a difficult time for us, and we need to stop with the spending. Is it appropriate to tell them that?
Yes, but not out of fear, just because it's a time to learn. Like I was saying, we remember that God is our provider, and he wants us to be responsible with the things that he's gifted us with. And so is it responsible to be wise in how we use things and how we use his money and how we take care of our needs? Well, yeah, we should be consulting him first, and then only consuming that which we need. So
that's good. That's good. Well, Dr. Ferguson, last question for today. Let me ask you this. What priorities should parents focus on that will provide some sense of stability for their kiddos during the difficult season of financial hardship?
I think ultimately it's going to be difficult not to think about, this is a struggle, this is a major transition, but we shouldn't be consumed with our worries. What comes to mind is Philippians 4. 6 and 7 and 8, to be worried about nothing, pray about everything, thank him, and then set our thoughts on those things that cause us to praise him.
That's really good.
That ties into that same kind of mindset, being mindful, and we can choose peace. Then routine, establishing and maintaining a routine is critical. So we want to make sure that that's in place. When we have routine, then everybody feels like the predictability allows, there's some control. I know what I'm going to do next. I know what's coming. And that's important when we don't know all the time what's coming, as our world has been turned upside down. And then two more points, being together as a family, right? And having fun. We're quarantined, right? You're taking care of your family all in one space. And so are we and everybody out there. So, go for a walk. We have been to Legacy Park, and we have seen people, families, couples walking together, enjoying the wonderful air. That's also helpful. So we want to be able to move our bodies. We're still able to go outside, have fun together, establish routine, and of course, set our mind on Christ.
That's so good. Yeah, I appreciate how you said that, because just because a family is experiencing financial hardships doesn't mean that all the fun goes out the window. You got to learn to be creative and learn to during this season, we can still enjoy each other as a family. So good. Well, Dr. Ferguson, I'm so grateful for your wisdom. We're isolating, you have your family at your home. I have my family at my home, and we're doing the responsible thing, but I still enjoy connecting with you through technology. And I think this is a great, yeah. Well, SCA is,
I was just going to say, thank you for providing this format. My kids know that, I'm technologically challenged, and you are quite savvy. So we make a great team, and that's cool beans.
Well, I look forward to our next conversation, Dr. Ferguson.
Likewise. See you then.
See you.